Something that Georgia, Kirby Smart, and the entire coaching staff has done really well the last few years is recruiting the quarterback at a high level, recruiting 4 and 5 star quarterbacks, talented quarterback rooms. We've seen that despite the controversies, despite what the media and what people say about Kirby Smart and his quarterback decisions. Something he's done very, very well is get these talented guys to come to Athens and be a part of Georgia Bulldogs. Gunnar Stockton is one of those guys, and I'm going to talk about him here today. First, make sure you're clicking the link down below, checking out DAWGSTRUCTIon, our commemorative book from the 2021 Georgia National Championship season, and make sure you're going to dawgpost.com for all your insider info. Ryan Curley from DAWGPOST here. What's Gunnar Stockton's career going to be like at Georgia? We've seen, let's just kind of run down through the list since Kirby Smart has been in Athens. He's recruited all sorts of 4 and 5 star guys. Jacob Eason was that first one that he coached. Obviously brought in Jake Fromm. People like DeJuan Mathis, JT Daniels, the transfer. And then more recently, you've got Brock Vandegrift and Carson Beck on the roster. Now you have Gunnar Stockton. Completely different quarterback. Someone who's not afraid of contact, loves to run around, can really make the right throws. I've seen him throw pretty nice deep balls. But what's he gonna do, especially this season? I think it's super interesting. Obviously, at the top of all that, you have Stetson Bennett, who won a national championship as a walk-on, someone that wasn't highly recruited. So the way that Kirby Smart manages the quarterback room has been a controversy. It's been a controversy. That's the only way to really describe it, because there's been so many disagreements. You see Justin Fields, another guy I didn't even name, obviously the highest rated one out of all of them. Justin Fields obviously didn't really get the opportunity to start over Jake Fromm, if that's the way you want to put it. He walks, he goes to Ohio State. Now you got 3 really talented quarterbacks behind Stetson Bennett, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens in 2022. But Gunnar Stockton, is he someone that can really play well for Georgia, whether it's this season or in future seasons? I'm really high on Gunnar Stockton. I think that there's a lot of varying opinions on him, and there's always going to be that question between him and Brock Vandegrift as who's better. And obviously we've seen them play against each other in 2020. We saw them play against each other, and Gunnar Stockton outplayed Brock Vandegrift. Now I think Gunnar Stockton's team was better than Brock Vandegrift's. Playing a 2A school versus a 1A private, obviously a little bit different talent levels, different types of kids there. So I think Gunnar's team was better. But Gunnar Stockton is a super interesting prospect that I think can be successful at this level. Matt Dean and I have talked about this a little bit in the past, and the 3 of us actually went and saw Gunnar towards the end of last football season, and I think he's special. I think that he's someone. I think he's a winner. Obviously, he has won a lot, and he is someone that is all over the Georgia record books. I mean, I have a list of this, so I'm going to run down this list. This is crazy. First in career passing touchdowns in Georgia history. First in all-purpose yards in Georgia history. First in all-purpose touchdowns in Georgia history. Second in passing yards in Georgia history behind Trevor Lawrence. Now this means that he's ahead only behind Trevor Lawrence in that regard, but in these categories he's ahead of Deshaun Watson. He's ahead of Jake Fromm. He's ahead of Trevor Lawrence in some of these categories. Some of these really good high school quarterbacks that have come out of Georgia in recent years. Gunnar Stockton broke all their records. I mean, this guy is a gamer. That's a way I like to describe him. And part of the reason why I want to talk about this is, let's pump the brakes a little bit before I say this. Let's be really cautious about the way I talk about this. I've heard some rumors that he may really shift up the depth chart a lot faster than people might think, that he has a chance to surpass Carson Beck and Brock Vandegrift. Rumors. But if that happened, I wouldn't be completely shocked, because the dude is just good. Kid's good. He's an early enrollee. He was a top 10 quarterback. I think he finished as the 7th best quarterback in the 2022 class. At one point, he was in the top 3. He kind of shifted down. The rankings change. But this is a guy that Kirby Smart really wanted. This is one of Kirby's guys. He was originally committed to South Carolina, decommits, comes to Georgia. Now he's an early enrollee. I've heard that he's done pretty well in the drills and the practices that they've had. Obviously, the early enrollees were there during some of those December practices when the team was preparing for the playoffs. But Gunnar Stockton is a guy that I have a lot of faith in as a prospect. I have a lot of faith in as someone who could do really well in Athens. I think that, the size, I think that size for a quarterback doesn't matter the way it used to. Yes, you had those prototypical quarterbacks like Trevor Lawrence and Justin Herbert, these 6'5", 6'6" guys, long cannon arms. But we're seeing a bunch of new types of quarterbacks, and we've seen it on every level. We've seen in the NFL. You got guys like Russell Wilson and Kyler Murray who are successful. You just saw Stetson Bennett, a sub 6 foot guy, not the body you want, maybe not even the arm you want, make all sorts of plays and help Georgia win a national championship. Regardless of what your opinion is, Stetson played well, and Stetson was a big reason why Georgia won. He's not the only reason. The defense was really good. The weapons were really good. I'm not giving Stetson all the credit. The coaching was awesome. But we're seeing how this prototypical quarterback is not necessary almost. It's not necessary. Maybe it's preferred in some people's eyes, and maybe they are better. I mean, you got guys like Josh Allen in the league, these 6'5", 6'6" guys who just have a cannon arm. But Gunnar Stockton is not that. Gunnar Stockton, somewhere in the 6 foot to 6'2" range. I think he's probably about 6'1". Stocky guy, big dude. I mean, just his body is pretty big. You'll see him on the field. You'll see that he's pretty built for his age. Kind of low to the ground. Not afraid of contact. I mean, one time they were playing Jefferson and playing a defense that had Malachi Starks and Sammy Brown. I was at this game where Gunnar Stockton scrambled out right, and around the first down marker, there was a defender coming up to tackle him, and you think, oh well, maybe Gunnar Stockton will slide, maybe he'll just try to get right by him, or maybe he'll just go to the ground. No, Gunnar Stockton lowers his shoulder and pops the guy, and he delivers the hit, not the defender. Will that work in the SEC? Will that work in the Power 5? I'm not sure. I think it's going to be a little bit different when an SEC linebacker's coming at you. But it just kind of shows you he's fearless, and he can do it all. He can run. He is pretty fast, and he can get the ball out fast. He loves the quick stuff. He loves dink and dunk. But I've seen him also deliver. I mean, I've seen him quite a handful of times, and every time I just left more and more impressed with him. And I'm not saying he's a better prospect or even player than Brock Vandagriff, and Brock Vandagriff has a jump on him being the scout team quarterback this past season. So Brock Vandagriff does have a jump on him. But me in particular, and I don't know how many people agree with me on this, every time I watched Gunnar Stockton, I just left a little bit more impressed than when I left watching Brock Vandagriff in high school. Just me. I don't know. Maybe it's just the kind of quarterback I prefer. I'm not sure. But I think that I really think Gunnar can be good. And obviously, I'm just hearing rumors. These aren't from necessarily sources, but rumors within the athletics that a lot of people like Gunnar Stockton, and then he has a good chance to move up the depth chart. Hearing that kind of stuff doesn't surprise me. Will it happen? I don't know, but I believe that Gunnar Stockton has the ability to do something like that and to really make his mark on this program. He's an exciting quarterback prospect in my eyes, and I think that he's someone, if given the opportunity, can really do well in Athens. And I think Georgia's blessed with a really talented quarterback room. I think for now, Stetson Bennett is the guy. It's hard to argue with that. But knowing Kirby Smart, he will pull Stetson if he has to, or if he thinks that someone's better. It's just a matter of, is that going to happen in 2022, and who's he going to be? You have three really good options behind Stetson Bennett if they're all in Athens by the time August and September rolls around and the season rolls around. But Gunnar Stockton is one of them. And Gunnar Stockton is someone that I think you should really keep an eye on. Maybe it's not in 2022. Maybe it's in 2023. Gunnar Stockton is someone to keep an eye on, according to me, and probably according to some other people. So remember, check out DAWGSTRUCTION, check out dogpost.com. We got you covered on everything.